Let me take you back to when I first arrived in Uzbekistan with just $500 in my pocket. I was expecting to struggle, maybe scrape by for a few weeks, but to my surprise, I was able to live like royalty. The local food, culture, and even my accommodations were so affordable that I started to wonder how this country managed to keep things so cheap. Uzbekistan is one of those hidden gems that most people overlook. When you think of Central Asia, you probably picture deserts, nomads, and ancient cities, but what you might not realize is how much you can do here for so little money. Imagine having a month-long adventure, staying in charming guest houses, savoring delicious food, and exploring centuries-old architecture, all while keeping your expenses under $500. It sounds almost too good to be true, but that's exactly what life in Uzbekistan can be like. The country offers a mix of rich culture, stunning landscapes, and incredible hospitality, all at a fraction of what you'd spend in most other parts of the world. Uzbekistan is a place where your budget stretches further, and you can truly live life to the fullest without breaking the bank. This isn't just about living cheap, though. It's about discovering a country with so much history, beauty, and warmth that it'll leave you wondering why it isn't a top destination for travelers. Let me show you how $500 can change the way you experience a place, and why Uzbekistan might just be the next best-kept secret for those who want to travel smart without sacrificing the quality of their experience. Uzbekistan, a country nestled in the heart of Central Asia, has long been a crossroads of history, culture, and commerce. For centuries, it served as a key point along the legendary Silk Road, the ancient trade route that connected the East with the West. This strategic position made Uzbekistan a melting pot of diverse cultures, ideas, and traditions. Samarkand, Bukhara, and Tashkent, three of its most famous cities, are rich in history, with their impressive architecture and vibrant markets still echoing the whispers of traders, scholars, and explorers who passed through centuries ago. When you think of Uzbekistan, don't just imagine bustling cities and markets filled with colorful fabrics and spices. Picture vast, golden deserts stretching under endless skies, surrounded by towering mountain ranges that are nothing short of breathtaking. The landscapes here vary from the arid plains to the fertile valleys, creating a stunning backdrop for everyday life. Whether you're walking through the labyrinthine streets of Samarkand or enjoying the tranquility of the countryside, Uzbekistan's natural beauty is as diverse as its history. Living in Uzbekistan offers a unique experience. In the capital, Tashkent, you'll find a blend of modernity and tradition. The city is a dynamic hub where towering buildings stand next to Soviet terrace structures, and vibrant bazaars coexist with stylish cafes. But if you head to the quieter towns and villages, life slows down, and you'll find yourself surrounded by simple pleasures. In places like Bukhara, you can wander through cobbled streets lined with ancient mosques and madrasas, while in the rural areas, you'll experience the warmth and hospitality of the local people. It is a place where you'll feel at home whether you reign in the busy city or enjoying the calm of the countryside. Living here, you get to experience the richness of the culture firsthand through the food, the music, and the daily interactions with the kind-hearted people. Uzbekistan is a place that invites you to immerse yourself in its history, traditions, and stunning landscapes, all while living comfortably on a budget that would seem impossible in many other parts of the world. Uzbekistan is a land where the past and present coexist in the most captivating way. The country's major cities, Samarkand, Bukhara, and Tashkent, are not just urban centers, they're cultural treasures that carry centuries of history within their walls. Samarkand, once the heart of the Silk Road, is often regarded as one of the most beautiful cities in the world. This ancient city was not only a crucial trading hub connecting the East with the West, but it also became a center of learning, art, and architecture. The stunning Registan Square, adorned with intricate mosaics and grand madrasas, is just one of Samarkand's iconic landmarks. The city's UNESCO World Heritage status speaks to its cultural and historical importance, with every corner telling a story from the era of great rulers like Timur, also known as Tamerlane, who made Samarkand the epicenter of his empire. Despite modernization, Samarkand has maintained its cultural identity. While new buildings rise alongside ancient ones, The soul of Samarkand remains rooted in its rich heritage. Local artisans still practice age-old crafts like carpet weaving and pottery making, and the city's bazaars remain bustling with activity, just as they did centuries ago, offering a vivid glimpse into the daily life of its people. Bukhara, another gem of Uzbekistan, is equally fascinating. Known as the City of Museums, it is home to a wealth of architectural masterpieces, from the majestic Arc Fortress to the intricately designed Bolo Hayuz Mosque. Bukhara has managed to preserve its charm despite the passage of time, with its narrow streets and historical landmarks offering a sense of nostalgia for a bygone era. Unlike many cities that have been overtaken by rapid urbanization, Bukhara has retained its slow-paced, traditional way of life, where the rhythm of the past still beats through its heart. But Uzbekistan is not just about its cities. The country is blessed with an array of stunning natural wonders that make it stand out geographically. To the south, the Kizilkum Desert stretches for miles, offering a landscape of stark beauty with its vast sand dunes and deep, quiet silence. To the north, the Fergana Valley, a lush, fertile area is known for its agricultural productivity and picturesque villages. The mountains in the east, particularly the Tian Shan and Pamir ranges, provide a striking contrast to the arid desert landscapes, with snow-capped peaks towering over lush valleys and providing an oasis of cool air in the summer heat. These diverse landscapes make Uzbekistan a truly unique destination. Whether you're hiking through the mountains, exploring ancient desert fortresses, or wandering through bustling markets, in the cities, Uzbekistan's natural beauty and rich history combine to create an unforgettable experience. The country's geographical variety not only adds to its charm, but also gives visitors a chance to experience multiple facets of life, from the rural tranquility of the countryside to the vibrant energy of the cities. Living on $500 a month might sound like a tough challenge, but in Uzbekistan, it's not only possible, it's surprisingly comfortable. When you think of travel destinations where you can live on a shoestring budget, places like Southeast Asia or South America might come to mind. However, Uzbekistan stands out as a budget-friendly gem that offers much more value than many other popular destinations. The cost of living here is incredibly low, and the quality of life you can enjoy for such a small budget will make you reconsider where your money is going when traveling elsewhere. Let's start with accommodation. In major cities like Tashkent, Samarkand, and Bukhara, finding a place to stay that won't break the bank is incredibly easy. I stayed in a cozy, family-run guest house in Samarkand for just $15 per night. The room was clean, comfortable, and included breakfast, something you'd be lucky to find at such a low cost in most other countries. These guest houses, often run by locals, are perfect for travelers on a budget. They offer an authentic experience while being light on the wallet. Even in Tashkent, the capital city, you can find budget hotels or Airbnb options starting as low as $20 a night. For those who prefer more privacy, renting a simple apartment is an affordable option ranging from $100 to $250 a month. This is far cheaper than you find in other cities across the globe, especially considering the quality and the convenience of these accommodations. When it comes to food, Uzbekistan truly shines in terms of affordability. Local eateries offer hearty and flavorful meals at incredibly low prices. You can grab a filling meal at a street vendor or a local restaurant for as little as $2 to $5. The beloved dish, plov, a rice dish with lamb, carrots, and onions, can be found for around $3 and is more than enough to satisfy your hunger. If you're looking to dine at a mid-range restaurant, expect to pay around $10 to $15 for a meal with drinks. For reference, in many Western countries, a basic lunch at a casual restaurant can easily cost more than that. Even in the tourist-heavy areas like Samarkand or Bukhara, the prices for food are still manageable compared to other popular travel spots, making it an ideal destination. For budget-conscious travelers, transportation in Uzbekistan is another major perk for those trying to live on a budget. Public transportation, especially buses and marshrutkas shared minivans, is cheap and reliable. A ride within the city usually costs less than $1, sometimes even as low as 10 cents. For a short trip, for example, If you're in Tashkent and want to visit the outskirts, you can take a marshrutka for just 2,000 UZS, less than $1. For longer distances between cities, the train system is affordable and efficient. A train ticket from Tashkent to Samarkand, a journey of about 4 hours, can cost you as little as $5 in economy class. Even private taxis, which are more convenient for tourists, are relatively inexpensive compared to other countries, especially if you're traveling within the city. The cost of a short ride might range from $3 to $7, depending on the distance. Daily expenses, like groceries, are also exceptionally low. A local supermarket will offer fresh fruits, vegetables, and essentials for a fraction of what you'd pay in Western countries. A liter of milk costs around $1, while a dozen eggs might cost you $1.50. Bread is super affordable, costing just a few cents per loaf. For snacks, you can buy fresh fruit from markets for under $1. In fact, it's common to find local markets where you can stock up on produce, spices, and herbs for next to nothing. Eating out is not only cheap but can be a fun and unique experience. Food markets and bazaars are the heart of local life, and spending a few dollars there allows you to try authentic Uzbek snacks, sweets, and teas, all while soaking in the culture and mingling with the locals. If you're a coffee lover, the prices will surprise you too. A cup of coffee at a local cafe typically costs less than $2. Compare that to a similar cafe experience in Europe or North America, where a simple coffee can cost upwards of $4 or $5. In Uzbekistan, you're getting a strong, rich coffee brewed fresh at a fraction of the price, and it as part of the experience to sit and enjoy it in one of the many quaint cafes that line the streets of cities, like Samarkand or Bukhara. Now, let's make a quick comparison to other popular budget destinations. Take Vietnam, for example, which is often considered one of the most affordable places to visit in Southeast Asia. While Vietnam does offer some low-cost options for food and accommodation, Uzbekistan rivals it in terms of affordability, particularly when it comes to the overall quality of life. The cost of dining out in Vietnam can be very cheap, but the experience in Uzbekistan feels more like a cultural immersion. The historic ambience of Samarkand or Bukhara, two UNESCO-listed cities, provides an enriching travel experience that Vietnam, with its modern hustle, might not match in the same way. Similarly, in places like South America, especially in countries like Peru or Ecuador, you can find cheap accommodations and meals, but Uzbekistan offers a balance of affordability with a rich, immersive experience in both its cities and natural landscapes. The fact that you can visit ancient Silk Road cities, hike through mountains, and eat like a local, all on a $500 monthly budget, makes Uzbekistan a true value for money. In summary, living on $500 a month in Uzbekistan isn't just feasible, it's incredibly comfortable. The combination of affordable accommodation, cheap and delicious food, and low transportation costs makes it one of the most budget-friendly destinations for travelers. Whether you choose to stay in the heart of Tashkent or explore the quieter corners of Samarkand and Bukhara, your budget will stretch further than you ever imagined, allowing you to fully immerse yourself in the rich culture, history, and landscapes that Uzbekistan has to offer. Uzbekistan is a country where every corner seems to tell a story, and its beauty is reflected not only in the landscapes, but also in its stunning historical landmarks and vibrant culture. Stepping into Uzbekistan feels like walking through a living history. Book each city, each monument, and each mosaic is a testament to the rich past of this incredible country. One of the most iconic landmarks in Uzbekistan is the Registan Square in Samarkand. This majestic architectural marvel is the heart of the city and arguably the most famous landmark in Central Asia. The square is surrounded by 3 Grand madrasas Ulugh, Shurdor, and Tilkari that are adorned with intricate tilework and dazzling mosaics. These buildings were once centers of learning, and their elaborate designs are a fusion of Islamic and Persian architectural styles. The moment you step into Registan Square, you're overwhelmed by the grandeur of the structures and the sense of awe they evoke. It's a place where history comes alive through its stunning beauty and rich heritage. Just a short distance away from the Registan is the Bibi Khana Mosque, one of the largest and most magnificent mosques in the world during the time of its construction. Built by Timur Tamerlane in the 15th century, the mosque was intended to be the grandest of its kind, although it has been partially ruined over the centuries. The sheer scale of the mosque and its beautiful, albeit worn, tilework still leaves visitors in awe. The mosque's entrance alone is a massive arched gateway decorated with geometric patterns and floral motifs, which offer a glimpse into the splendor it once possessed. Standing in front of Bibi Khanim, you can almost feel the weight of history and the legacy of one of the world's greatest empires. Another landmark that must not be missed is the Ark Fortress in Bukhara. This ancient citadel has been the heart of the city for over 1,500 years. Once the residence of Bukhara's rulers, the Ark Fortress is now a museum that showcases the history of this historic city. The fortress is a massive complex with high walls, grand gates, and narrow corridors that lead to ancient chambers and halls. Each room holds pieces of history, from centuries-old artifacts to intricate artwork and weapons. The views from the top of the fortress provide a stunning panoramic view of the city. And standing there, you can't help but imagine what life was like centuries ago when the fortress was bustling with royal activity. Uzbekistan's beauty isn't confined to its monumental buildings. It is woven into the very fabric of its culture. And this is most evident in the country's traditional crafts, Uzbek textiles. Especially their famous silk fabrics and ikat patterns are celebrated worldwide for their vivid colors and intricate designs. The process of making these textiles is an art form that has been passed down through generations. In cities like Samarkand, Bukhara, and Tashkent, you can visit markets where artisans still weave these brilliant fabrics by hand. Using methods that have been perfected over centuries, the designs often feature bold geometric patterns, floral motifs, and representations of nature. And each piece of fabric tells a story of the region's cultural and historical ties. Beyond textiles, ceramics are another celebrated art form in Uzbekistan. The pottery from the city of Rishtan is particularly famous. The region's pottery features stunning blue and green glazes, and its delicate, hand-painted designs have made it one of the most recognizable forms of Uzbek craftsmanship. Whether it's a plate, a vase, or a decorative tile, each piece of Rishtan pottery reflects the meticulous craftsmanship and deep cultural significance that is so embedded in Uzbek culture. Perhaps one of the most striking features of Uzbek art is its mosaics. The elaborate tiles and mosaics that cover the walls of mosques, madrasas, and palaces are nothing short of breathtaking. The Shah Zinda complex in Samarkand, for example, is famous for its vibrant blue tiles, which cover nearly every surface of its mausoleums. The designs, featuring intricate patterns and motifs, seem to shimmer in the sunlight, creating a surreal, almost dreamlike atmosphere. The use of bold colors, particularly the shades of blue, turquoise, and gold, makes the mosaics not only visually striking but also symbolically significant, representing the divine and eternal. But the beauty of Uzbekistan goes beyond just its buildings. Its art, or its landscapes, is also deeply embedded in the people. Uzbek hospitality is legendary, and it's through their warmth and openness that the true spirit of the country is revealed. The people of Uzbekistan are immensely proud of their heritage, and they are eager to share it with visitors. Whether it's through a shared meal, a conversation in the local market, or an invitation to visit a family's home, the people here are the heart of the country, making the experience of visiting Uzbekistan even more special. In sum, Uzbekistan offers a unique blend of architectural wonders, ancient traditions, and rich culture, from the grandeur of the Registan to the artistry of traditional Uzbek crafts. The country is a living canvas of beauty that spans centuries. Whether you're wandering through the historic streets of Bukhara, admiring the intricate mosaics of Samarkand, or discovering the artistry of local weavers and potters, Uzbekistan offers an immersive cultural experience that is unlike any other place in the world. The beauty here is not just seen with the eyes, it's felt with the heart. Samarkand and Bukhara are two of the most iconic cities in Uzbekistan, each with a history and charm that can't be found anywhere else in the world. These cities are not just landmarks, They're living histories that continue to influence the culture and daily life in Uzbekistan. My experiences in both places were a journey through time, each street, monument, and conversation with locals helped me understand the deep historical roots that continue to shape these cities today. Samarkand, the timeless beauty of the Silk Road. Samarkand, the jewel of Uzbekistan, was once one of the greatest cities in the world. As the heart of the Silk Road, it was the meeting point for traders, scholars, and adventurers from all corners of the globe. It was also the capital of the Timurid Empire, and today, it remains a symbol of Uzbekistan's proud history. Visiting Samarkand felt like stepping back in time, yet the city's vibrant energy made me feel as though I was in a place that was just as alive as it had been hundreds of years ago. One of my most memorable experiences in Samarkand was visiting the Registan Square. As I walked through the grand entrance of the madrasas, the sun was setting, casting a golden glow over the intricate tilework that covered every surface. The blue and turquoise mosaics sparkled in the fading light, and it was hard to believe that such beauty had stood the test of time. I stood there for a while, taking it all in, and I couldn't help but imagine what it must have been like hundreds of years ago when this square was filled with scholars and merchants from across the world. As I wandered through the narrow streets of Samarkand, I met a local artisan who was carefully crafting intricate patterns on a carpet. He invited me to sit with him and watch him work, explaining the art of carpet weaving that has been passed down through generations. He shared stories of how Samarkand was once a hub for silk and wool, and how every carpet he made represented a piece of his family's history. It was a simple, yet profound moment that connected me to the rich cultural heritage of this city. I also had the chance to visit the Shah Zinda complex, one of the most beautiful and sacred places in Samarkand. As I walked through the mausoleums, the intricate blue tiles seemed to shimmer, almost as if they were alive. The architecture here was stunning, but what struck me the most was the spiritual significance of the place. Locals come here to honor their ancestors, and the peaceful atmosphere made it clear that this was a place where time slowed down, allowing people to reflect on their past and their future. Bukhara, the heart of Uzbek culture. A few days later, I made my way to Bukhara, another UNESCO World Heritage city that holds a deep cultural and historical significance in Uzbekistan. Bukhara is known as the city of museums because of its many well-preserved monuments. And like Samarkand, it has a rich history as a central point along the Silk Road. But what sets Bukhara apart is its feeling of being both ancient and modern at the same time. The streets of Bukhara still feel like they've been untouched by time. Walking through its narrow alleys, you're transported back to a world where ancient traditions continue to thrive. The first place I visited in Bukhara was the Ark Fortress, an ancient citadel that dates back to the 5th century. As I climbed up the narrow, winding stairs of the fortress, I couldn't help but think about how many generations of rulers, soldiers, and scholars had walked the same steps. The views from the top were breathtaking. Looking out over the city, I could see the vast expanse of the desert in the distance, while the old town stretched out below me with its centuries-old buildings and bustling markets. But it was when I wandered through the Bolo Hayus Mosque and the Kalon Minaret that the true essence of Bukhara came to life. These landmarks are not just historical monuments, they are living symbols of the city's identity. I met a local guide who explained to me that the Bolo Hayus Mosque was built in the 16th century and served as a place of worship for the rulers and their court. The intricate tilework and delicate wooden pillars inside the mosque reflected the artistic and architectural traditions of the region. Standing there, it felt as though the city's past was whispering through the walls. One of the most touching moments of my time in Bukhara came when I met an elderly woman who was selling traditional rishtan pottery at the local bazaar. She invited me to her small workshop, where she and her family had been making pottery for generations. Watching her craft a piece of pottery from a simple lump of clay was mesmerizing. The art of making these vibrant, hand-painted ceramics has been passed down through her family for hundreds of years. As she worked, she shared stories of Bukhara's role as a center for trade and culture, and how pottery, like carpets, was a way for artisans to express their cultural heritage. She spoke with such passion about her craft and I left her workshop feeling a deep connection to the place and its people beyond the monuments and landmarks. What truly made Bukhara special were the people. During my time there, I had the opportunity to speak with many locals, and I was struck by their warmth and pride in their city's history. It was clear that while Bukhara was a city rooted in its past, the people were fully engaged in its present, ensuring that the traditions of the Silk Road would continue to thrive for generations to come. The connection between the past and present. What struck me most about both Samarkand and Bukhara was how the past and present are intertwined. These cities are not just open-air museums, they are living, breathing places where history and culture are still very much alive. In Samarkand, the regality of the ancient madrasas and the bustling bazaars provide a window into the past. But the city is constantly evolving, with modern-day Samarkand maintaining its role as a cultural hub. Bukhara, too, is a city that hasn't lost touch with its roots. It's a place where history is preserved not just in monuments, but in the daily lives of the people. These cities, while famous for their historical significance, offer a deep connection to the present as well. They are vibrant, thriving communities where you can still experience the same traditions and lifestyles that have defined them for centuries. Whether it's sitting with a local artisan, exploring a centuries-old fortress, or simply walking through the bazaars, Samarkand and Bukhara invite you to connect with the past while embracing the present. In the end, it's the people of Samarkand and Bukhara who truly bring these cities to life. The stories they share, the crafts they continue to create, and the hospitality they offer make these cities unforgettable. My time in both cities left me with a profound sense of connection not just to the places I visited, but to the people who keep their history and culture alive every day in the most beautiful way. Tashkent, the capital of Uzbekistan, is a city where the past and present seamlessly come together. It's a bustling metropolis that serves as the heart of the country, both politically and culturally. As the largest city in Uzbekistan, Tashkent is where the country's history, traditions, and modern developments meet. The city's unique blend of Soviet-era architecture and modern luxury gives it an intriguing character. You'll walk through wide, tree-lined boulevards surrounded by towering buildings that were constructed during the Soviet era. Yet you'll also encounter sleek, contemporary structures that reflect the city's growing ambition. One of the first things you'll notice about Tashkent is its striking contrast in architecture. The Soviet influence is clear in many of the buildings, with large concrete structures, wide avenues, and stark, functional designs. But then, almost as if to show its transformation, the city is dotted with modern skyscrapers, stylish malls, and beautifully designed residential areas. The mix of these architectural styles adds a unique charm to the city, where you can sense the layers of history while also witnessing the rapid growth and change. Tashkent is also a melting pot of cultures. Due to its historical significance as a major trade hub, the city has seen influences from many different peoples over the centuries, including Persian, Russian, and Turkic cultures. Today, that diversity is evident in everything from the food to the festivals. Walking through Tashkent, you'll hear a mixture of Uzbek, Russian, and even a bit of Tajik being spoken. The people here are warm and welcoming, often eager to share their stories and experiences. Whether it's a conversation with a taxi driver or a chat at a cafe, you quickly realize how open and hospitable the residents are. Living in Tashkent was an experience of constant discovery. The city offers a comfortable and easy lifestyle, with a great balance between tradition and modernity. Local cafes are some of the best places to experience the essence of the city. Whether it is sipping on a cup of green tea in a traditional Uzbek tea house or enjoying a rich cup of coffee at a trendy modern cafe, Tashkent's cafe culture has something for everyone. I found that cafes here are more than just places to grab a drink, they are social hubs, where people come together to relax, chat, and catch up. In fact, many locals spend hours at cafes, engaging in lively discussions over a cup of tea or coffee. It is a wonderful opportunity to not only taste delicious drinks and desserts, but also to get a feel for the city as laid-back, yet vibrant lifestyle. The food in Tashkent also reflects the city's diverse cultural influences. You can easily find traditional Uzbek dishes like plov, a rice dish with lamb and vegetables, and shashlik, grilled skewers of meat alongside Russian salads, Turkish kebabs, and even Western-style fast food. What really stood out to me, however, was the warmth and hospitality in every restaurant. Whether I was in a hole-in-the-wall eatery or a fancy restaurant, the service was always friendly, and the food was always made with care. The street food scene is also lively, with vendors offering everything from samsa, savory pastries filled with meat, to naan, Uzbek flatbread fresh out of the oven. Living in Tashkent also means experiencing the city's many different neighborhoods, each with its own vibe. The Old Town area is where you'll find the heart of Tashkent's history. It's home to ancient mosques, bazaars, and narrow alleys that still reflect the traditions of the past. As you walk through the streets, you'll encounter buildings that have stood for centuries, blending in with modern shops and cafes. The city center, on the other hand, is a fast-paced area full of shops, businesses, and restaurants. It's where you'll find the most modern conveniences, including shopping malls, international restaurants, and luxury hotels. The contrast between the two areas is a perfect example of Tashkent's balance of old and new. If you venture into the neighborhoods of the outskirts, you'll get a different feel altogether. These quieter areas are more residential, with tree-lined streets, local parks, and small shops. Life here moves at a slower pace, and it is easy to find peaceful spots to relax away from the hustle and bustle of the city center. The people in these neighborhoods are often more private, but just as friendly. Many families live in cozy homes with small gardens, and the sense of community is strong. It is a perfect place to escape to if you're really looking for a quieter side of Tashkent. The city is also filled with green spaces, something that really surprised me about Tashkent. There are several parks and gardens where locals spend their free time enjoying outdoor activities, taking leisurely walks, or just sitting and chatting. One of my favorite places was Amir Timur Square, a spacious park at the heart of the city. It's a great place to relax and people watch, with fountains, statues, and wide-open spaces where families gather in the evenings. The lush greenery and the open-air atmosphere give Tashkent a more relaxed feel than you might expect from a capital city. What I loved most about Tashkent was how it felt like a city that was constantly evolving. It's a place where the old ways of life blend beautifully with the new, creating a dynamic and exciting atmosphere. You can feel the city's history in the air, yet you also sense the excitement of modern development and growth. Tashkent is a city that invites you to explore. Whether you're wandering through its historic streets, sipping tea in a cafe, or just chatting with a local on a sunny afternoon, there's always something new to discover, and every corner of the city has its own story to tell. In Tashkent, life moves at its own pace, balancing the rich cultural traditions with the comforts of modern living. It's a place where history and progress coexist, and where you can enjoy the best of both worlds. Whether you're living here for a short time or a long time, Tashkent offers an experience that is both familiar and full of surprises, making it a truly unique place to call home. One of the most exciting parts of any trip is discovering the local food, and in Uzbekistan, the cuisine is as rich and diverse as its history. Food is central to the culture, and meals are often seen as a time for family and friends to come together and share. The flavors, the traditions, and the stories behind the dishes make the food here not just something to eat, but an experience to remember. Perhaps the most famous dish in Uzbekistan is plov, also known as plov, a hearty rice dish made with lamb, carrots, onions, and spices. It is a dish that has been enjoyed for centuries, and is often considered the national dish of Uzbekistan. The history of plov dates back to the times of the ancient Persian Empire, and over the centuries, it has become a symbol of hospitality. It's the dish you'll find at weddings, special celebrations, and even casual family gatherings. Each region of Uzbekistan has its own variation of plov, but the basics always remain the same: tender lamb, aromatic rice, and vegetables cooked to perfection. The way it's prepared, usually in a large, deep pan over an open flame, gives it a unique flavor and texture. The rich, savory taste of plov will leave you craving more. and it's the kind of dish that brings people together, often served on a large platter for everyone to share. Another popular dish that you'll see everywhere in Uzbekistan is somsa. Somsa are pastry pockets filled with a variety of fillings, often made with lamb, beef, or vegetables. The dough is flaky and crispy on the outside, while the inside is packed with flavorful meat and spices. It's a street food staple, and you'll find vendors selling them fresh out of the oven at every corner. I remember the first time I tried somsa at a small bakery in Samarkand. The smell of freshly baked pastry filled the air, and when I took my first bite, the crispy dough gave way to a savory, juicy filling that was simply irresistible. It was the kind of simple meal that makes you feel connected to the place you raised, and comforting, satisfying, and full of flavor. Then there's lagman, a noodle dish that's popular throughout Central Asia. The noodles are homemade and have a chewy, satisfying texture. They're served with a rich broth made from meat, vegetables, and sometimes even spices like garlic and chili. Lagman is a dish that can be eaten as a soup or stir-fried, depending on the region, but the basic ingredients remain the same. The dish is a perfect example of how food in Uzbekistan is designed to be filling and nourishing. The flavors are deep, and the combination of vegetables and meat creates a meal that is both hearty and comforting. Lagman is often served in large bowls, making it perfect for sharing with family or friends. Another must-try dish is shoestring, which is skewered, grilled meat, often served with onions, tomatoes, and flatbread. Shoestring is a popular street food and can be found at restaurants or grilled on street corners. The marinated meat, typically lamb or beef, is cooked over open flames, which gives it a smoky flavor that is hard to resist. It's served with a simple side of non-Uzbek flatbread, and sometimes with a dollop of yogurt or salad. Shoestring is more than just a meal, it's a social event. In Uzbekistan, meals like shoestring are often enjoyed outdoors with friends, accompanied by lively conversation and laughter. Food in Uzbekistan is much more than just sustenance. It's a vital part of the culture and plays an important role in social gatherings. Meals are a time for family and friends to connect, and food is often shared generously. The act of serving food to others is seen as an expression of hospitality and respect. I had the privilege of attending a local cooking class in Tashkent, where an Uzbek woman, dressed in traditional attire, taught us how to make plov from scratch. As she chopped vegetables and prepared the meat, she shared stories about her family and how cooking has been passed down through generations. The love and care that went into each step of the process were evident, and it made the meal feel even more special. As we gathered around the table to enjoy the freshly made plov, there was a sense of connection to the past and to each other. The meal was more than just delicious. It was a reflection of the rich cultural heritage of Uzbekistan. Food is also a reflection of the country's deep-rooted traditions. In Uzbekistan, it's common to eat together at large communal tables, with the food spread out in the center for everyone to share. This communal style of dining reflects the importance of family and community in Uzbek culture. It's a time to bond, to share stories, and to enjoy the simple pleasures of life. The tradition of offering food to guests, especially in rural areas, is a sign of respect, and it's considered impolite to refuse food when it's offered to you. This generosity is at the heart of Uzbek culture, and it's one of the reasons that meals here feel so meaningful. If you're lucky enough to be invited into a local home, you'll experience firsthand the role that food plays in bringing people together. On one occasion, I was invited to dinner by a local family in Bukhara. The table was laden with an array of dishes: plov, somsa, fresh bread, and fruits, and the host insisted we eat until we were full. The conversation flowed freely, and I felt a deep sense of warmth and belonging. It was a reminder of how food transcends boundaries and brings people closer, regardless of where they come from. In Uzbekistan, food is not just about filling your stomach, it's about sharing experiences, connecting with others, and celebrating life. The rich flavors, the centuries-old recipes, and the deep cultural significance of meals make Uzbekistan's cuisine a key part of its identity. Whether you're enjoying a bowl of lagman, savoring a somsa, or sitting down for a feast of plov, the food here will leave you with more than just a full, Stomachache will leave you with a lasting memory of the country's hospitality and warmth. Living in Uzbekistan on a budget of $500 a month may sound like a challenge, but the reality is quite the opposite. In fact, it can be both a fulfilling and enjoyable experience. The cost of living here is so low that you can live comfortably and still have plenty of opportunities to explore, meet people, and immerse yourself in the culture. For a budget traveler or someone living the nomadic lifestyle, $500 goes a long way in Uzbekistan, providing a simple yet fulfilling daily routine. A typical day for a budget traveler in Uzbekistan starts with a warm and filling breakfast, often enjoyed in a local cafe or at home. Breakfast in Uzbekistan is simple but satisfying. Many locals enjoy tea, which is served all day with bread and cheese or kefir fermented milk. You might also find somsa or non-Uzbek flatbread served with jam or honey. These simple meals set you up for a busy day without breaking the bank. The cost of breakfast, even at a local cafe, usually ranges from $2 to $4, making it affordable for any traveler. After breakfast, you'll find that getting around the city is both easy and cheap. Whether you're in Tashkent, Samarkand, or Bukhara, public transportation is incredibly affordable. A ride on a local bus or marshrutka shared minibus typically costs less than $1, sometimes even as low as 25 cents for short trips. If you're walking or cycling, which many locals do, your transportation costs can be close to nothing. This low transportation cost allows for greater freedom in exploring the city or traveling to nearby towns and landmarks without worrying about expensive travel fees. For lunch, many locals prefer a simple, yet hearty meal. Plov, lagman, or shashlik are often available at local restaurants or food stalls for around $3 to $5. If you choose to eat in, grocery shopping is both affordable and easy. Fresh produce like fruits, vegetables, and bread are sold at local markets, and a typical grocery bill for a month might only cost around $30 to $50. Even meats and dairy products are cheaper compared to many Western countries. A whole chicken can cost you as little as $4, and eggs cost less than $2 for a dozen. This allows you to prepare your own meals, which is an economical option, especially if you're on a budget. In terms of accommodation, you can find decent, clean places to stay for a very reasonable price. A budget traveler can rent a simple room in a guest house for about $10 to $20 per night, depending on the city. For a longer stay, you can rent an apartment for around $100 to $300 a month, which is incredibly affordable when compared to Western standards. Even in Tashkent, the capital, rents are low. In more rural areas or smaller towns, rent could be even cheaper, and the quality of life remains high. Living in Uzbekistan, you will notice that the pace of life is slower and more relaxed. This allows for a lifestyle that focuses more on enjoying the present moment. After lunch, many locals spend time in the parks or in open-air cafes, chatting with friends or family. One of the most common leisure activities is simply sitting down with friends over a cup of tea. Tea is a big part of Uzbek culture, and drinking it together is a way of building community and socializing. It's common to see people enjoying long, leisurely tea sessions that last for hours, whether in a park, cafe, or even at home. In the evenings, families often gather for dinner. Dinner in Uzbekistan is another social event, and it's not uncommon for meals to be large and shared among family members or friends. The traditional plov might take center stage, but there are also a variety of other dishes like somsa, shashlik, or mandi steamed dumplings. It's a warm, welcoming atmosphere, and dinner is more about the connection between people than the food itself. It's often served with flatbread, fresh vegetables, and yogurt, and like breakfast and lunch. It's very affordable. A typical dinner might cost around $5 to $7, depending on the place, and is often shared among a group, which makes the experience even more enjoyable. For entertainment, there are plenty of free or low-cost activities. Many locals enjoy going for evening walks in the parks, and Tashkent is known for its beautiful green spaces, like Amir Timur Square and Navoy Park. These parks are popular spots for families to relax, play, or simply enjoy the cooler evening air. You'll often see children playing, families walking together, and groups of friends sitting on benches, enjoying each other's company. It's an excellent way to unwind after a busy day. If you're looking for a more structured form of entertainment, there are plenty of options as well. Movies, for example, are very affordable. With tickets usually costing around $2 to $4, Uzbek cinema is thriving, and you can watch both local and international films for those who are into history and culture. Many museums, mosques, and monuments are free or cost only a small entry fee of $1 to $3. Visiting places like the Shah Zinda complex in Samarkand or the Ark Fortress in Bukhara allows you to immerse yourself in the country's rich history without spending much money. As for utilities and bills, they are also relatively low. Internet access is widely available, and you can expect to pay around $10 to $15 per month for an internet connection. Utility bills for water, gas, and electricity in a typical apartment are generally under $30 per month. This makes living in Uzbekistan not only affordable, but also quite convenient. If you prefer to live a more nomadic lifestyle, working remotely or traveling around the country is easy to do, and the low cost of living makes it a great place for digital nomads or anyone looking for a simple lifestyle. In terms of family life, Uzbekistan is very family-oriented, and this is reflected in everyday life. The importance of family is central to the culture, and it's common to see multiple generations living together in one household. The bond between parents, children, and grandparents is incredibly strong, and this sense of community is often extended to close friends and neighbors as well. It is easy to see why Uzbekistan is such a welcoming place whether you are a local or a visitor. You are always treated as part of the family. In conclusion, living in Uzbekistan on a budget of $500 a month offers a simple yet fulfilling lifestyle, with affordable accommodation, low food costs, and the ability to enjoy the beauty of the country's culture, nature, and people. It's easy to live comfortably while exploring all that Uzbekistan has to offer: the slower pace of life, the importance of family, and the opportunity to engage with the culture in meaningful ways make Uzbekistan a unique and inviting place to live, whether for a short time or longer. Uzbekistan is a country known not just for its rich culture, ancient history, and stunning landscapes, but for something truly special: its hospitality. Uzbek shememenduslik, or Uzbek hospitality, is a cornerstone of the culture and is deeply ingrained in everyday life. It is the warmth and generosity that locals extend to visitors, and it's something you experience from the moment you arrive in the country. The people of Uzbekistan have a way of making you feel like family, even if you've just met them. One of the most striking examples of Uzbek hospitality happened when I was traveling through a small village near Bukhara. I had been exploring the area for a few hours when I realized I had gotten lost. The narrow, winding streets didn't seem to lead anywhere familiar, and I was starting to feel a bit uneasy. As I was standing there, trying to figure out my way, a woman passed by and noticed I was confused. Without a second thought, she stopped and offered to help. But not only that, she insisted that I follow her to her home. At first, I hesitated, unsure if I should accept her offer. But she reassured me with a warm smile and a wave of her hand, guiding me through the village. When we arrived at her house, she invited me in with no hesitation. Her home was simple but warm, and soon after I arrived, her family greeted me like an old friend. They offered me tea, fruits, and homemade somsa, a traditional pastry, as we chatted. It was a gesture that felt completely natural to them, but was truly unexpected to me. I had never been welcomed so openly by strangers, let alone invited into someone's home without any prior connection. This spontaneous invitation is an example of the warmth that is part of Uzbekistan's fabric. It's not an isolated case, either. On multiple occasions, I experienced similar kindness. Whether it was a shopkeeper offering me a taste of local sweets while I browsed, or a taxi driver who, noticing I was struggling with the language, spent a few extra minutes helping me translate directions. The people of Uzbekistan are incredibly generous. Uzbek shememenduslik is more than just offering food or tea to a guest. It's a deeply rooted tradition of making others feel welcome and valued, and it's especially important when interacting with visitors. Offering food and drink is a symbolic gesture of respect and kindness. In fact, when you visit someone's home in Uzbekistan, you will often be treated to an elaborate spread of food, no matter how modest the home is. Refusing food, even politely, is sometimes seen as impolite, because hospitality is considered sacred. Offering guests food is a way of showing respect and creating a bond. Whether it's freshly baked bread, a bowl of fruit, or a full meal, the act of offering food is central to the culture. The concept of hospitality extends beyond just sharing a meal. It's in the very way people interact with you. I remember another instance in Samarkand when I was walking through the bustling market, trying to figure out how to buy something from a vendor who didn't speak English. As soon as the vendor saw me struggling, he smiled and handed me a bag of fruit as a gift, saying no money, just friendship. At first, I was taken aback, unsure whether to accept it, but he insisted with a twinkle in his eye. I couldn't help but be touched by his genuine kindness. This gesture of goodwill, no strings attached, left me with a deep appreciation for the sincerity that Uzbeks show towards others, even strangers. In Uzbekistan, this sense of community is palpable. People genuinely care about each other and go out of their way to help. If you're ever in a situation where you need assistance, whether it's asking for directions or navigating a problem, locals will step in to offer help. No questions asked. It's this genuine warmth and sense of community that makes Uzbekistan stand out. In a world that sometimes feels detached and impersonal, especially in larger cities where interactions can be more transactional, Uzbekistan offers a refreshing contrast. Here, the bonds between people are nurtured through simple, meaningful gestures. But the beauty of Uzbek hospitality is not limited to the big gestures. It's in the little things, too. It's the way shopkeepers greet you with a friendly smile as you walk by, the way neighbors gather to share a meal or a story, and the way people are quick to lend a hand without expecting anything in return. The level of care and attention that locals put into making others feel welcome is something that really struck me throughout my time in the country. Whether you're sitting down to a meal, receiving directions, or just chatting with someone on the street, you'll never feel like an outsider. The warmth of the people will always make you feel at home. This genuine hospitality is not just a cultural tradition, but a reflection of the country's values. It shows how deeply Uzbekistan's culture is rooted in respect for others and a desire to make everyone feel comfortable. It is not just about offering food or a place to stay, it is about connecting with others and showing that you matter, even if you're far from home. Uzbekistan's hospitality is a reminder of how much of an impact small acts of kindness can have. It's a beautiful thing to be a part of a culture where warmth, generosity, and a sense of community are valued above all else. In a world that sometimes feels disconnected, Uzbekistan's people offer a refreshing example of how simple, meaningful interactions can make the world a much warmer place. As we come to the end of this journey through Uzbekistan, one thing becomes crystal clear. This is a country that defies expectations. From the moment I arrived, I was struck by how much you can experience, how much you can see, and how deeply you can connect with a place all for just $500 a month. The cost of living here is astonishingly low, but the value you get in return is beyond what you might expect from any other budget destination. For $500, you can live comfortably, explore stunning cities, enjoy rich cultural experiences, and savor the hospitality of one of the friendliest nations on earth. This is what makes Uzbekistan truly special. It is an affordable gem that offers more than just a low cost of living. It gives you a chance to experience life in a country steeped in history, culture, and heart. The affordability in Uzbekistan isn't just limited to rent or food. It extends to almost every part of daily life. Whether you're staying in a cozy guest house for $15 a night, enjoying a full meal at a local restaurant for under $5, or hopping on public transport for just a few cents, your money stretches further here than in many other parts of the world. And that's not all. The real beauty lies in how much you can experience for such a low cost. You can explore ancient cities like Samarkand and Bukhara, marvel at their stunning mosques and madrasas, and walk through history that spans thousands of years. You can savor delicious, flavorful meals made from recipes passed down through generations and experience the warmth of the people whose hospitality knows no bounds. What truly sets Uzbekistan apart from other low-budget destinations is its combination of history, culture, and the incredible generosity of its people. Many places around the world are affordable to visit, but few offer the same level of cultural immersion. In Uzbekistan, you're not just a tourist, you're welcomed like family. The local people take pride in their history and culture, and they want to share it with you. Whether it's being invited into someone's home for a meal, receiving spontaneous help when you're lost, or experiencing the deep sense of community and family in everyday life, Uzbekistan's hospitality is unparalleled. It's the kind of place where you can make meaningful connections with the people, and those connections will stay with you long after you've left. Compared to other budget destinations, Uzbekistan offers something truly unique. While countries in Southeast Asia and South America are often the go-to choices for budget travelers, Uzbekistan stands out by providing an experience that is both affordable and enriching in ways that many other places can't. The country's cities are not just historic, they are living, breathing examples of a culture that has survived and thrived through centuries of change. The historical sites you visit here aren't just monuments. They are part of the everyday life of the people. The food is not just delicious, it's a way to understand the culture and traditions of Uzbekistan. And the warmth and kindness of the locals make this place feel like home. Whether you're in the bustling capital of Tashkent or the quieter streets of Bukhara, what makes Uzbekistan a truly unforgettable destination is the balance it strikes between old and new, tradition and progress. While modernity is creeping into places like Tashkent, you'll still find yourself surrounded by the traditions that have shaped this country for centuries. The beautiful architecture of Samarkand and Bukhara may be thousands of years old, but the spirit of Uzbekistan is alive and thriving. And that's what makes Uzbekistan such a unique place to live and travel. It's a place where the past and the present coalesce, creating a rich cultural tapestry that visitors can experience in a way that feels both timeless and contemporary. So, what's the final takeaway from all of this? If you're looking for a place to live, travel, and immerse yourself in a rich culture without spending a fortune, Uzbekistan is the perfect destination. For just $500 a month, you can live a fulfilling life, experience unforgettable moments, and make memories that will last a lifetime. Whether you're a budget traveler, a digital nomad, or just someone looking for a unique place to experience, Uzbekistan offers everything you could want and more. I encourage you to visit Uzbekistan. Don't just take my word for it. See it for yourself, wander through the ancient cities, share a meal with the locals, and feel the warmth and hospitality that make this place truly special. Trust me, you'll leave with a new perspective on life, culture, and what it means to live well on a budget. So, pack your bags, take the leap, and make Uzbekistan your next adventure. It's a place where history, culture, and affordability meet in the most beautiful way. You won't regret it. Now that you've seen just how much you can experience in Uzbekistan for just $500 a month, I want to hear from you. Imagine living on a budget of $500 a month. What would your dream life look like? Would you spend your days exploring ancient cities, indulging in delicious local food, or maybe immersing yourself in the culture of a place like Uzbekistan? Or maybe you'd be more focused on finding a peaceful spot to call home while embracing the slow pace. Community-centered lifestyle. Whatever it is, I'd love to know how you spend your time and money if you were living here. And here is a question for you. What is the most surprising thing you've learned from this video? Was it how far your money can go in Uzbekistan? Or perhaps the incredible hospitality of the people? Maybe it's the richness of the culture that combines the old and the new so beautifully. I'm curious to hear what stands out to you the most, because in a place like Uzbekistan, there's always something new to discover. But wait, this is just the beginning. Next time, we'll be exploring another incredible destination that offers the same kind of value and adventure. Tajikistan. That's right, we'll be diving into this hidden gem and showing you how you can experience all of its stunning beauty and rich culture on the same $500 budget. You won't want to miss it, trust me. You'll be amazed by what's out there waiting for you. Tajikistan is just as affordable and full of surprises as Uzbekistan, and I can't wait to take you there. In the meantime, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever considered living in a place like Uzbekistan, where culture, history, and affordability come together in such an exciting way? Or are there other places you're curious about that could be just as budget-friendly? Drop your thoughts and questions in the comments below. I love reading what you have to say, and I'm always excited to chat with fellow travelers and adventurers. Who knows? Maybe your next dream destination is just a comment away. As we wrap up this adventure through Uzbekistan, I hope you're leaving with a sense of possibility. It's incredible how much you can experience, learn, and grow all while living fully on a budget. Whether it's exploring the ancient cities, connecting with the locals, or simply soaking in the beauty of life around you, Uzbekistan shows us that the richest experiences don't always come with a high price tag. Living simply doesn't. It means sacrificing the quality of your life. It means embracing the moments that truly matter. So, wherever your travels take you next, remember, sometimes the best adventures come when you're open to the world around you, ready to embrace the unexpected and willing to dream a little bigger. Thank you for being part of this journey, and I can't wait to see where we go next. Until then, take care, dream big, and keep exploring on your own terms.